Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be sharing with you tonight this presentation. You didn't start your business to be stuck. I cannot wait to share with you. Before we start, obviously, you would want to know who is presenting this to you. So let me introduce myself to you. My name is Serena J. That is my family, my two incredible young adult kids. And at the age of 47, I had to completely restart my life because after a marriage of 25 years, I walked out of there with 300 Rand on my name. And I'm incredibly grateful for the journey, although it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. But during that time, I made a pledge to myself and I said, I wanted to create a life that I didn't want to escape from. And what a journey that has been. And I'm incredibly grateful because I was able to rebuild my life with digital products and rebuild my mind and rebuild my emotional state and rebuild me in this whole process. And I became a six-figure earner. And now I'm building my brand, Serena J, where I call myself a mindset and AI strategist. Why? Because as a professional, I have always had my own independent practice as a psychometrist. Now, if you don't know what that is, psychologists usually work with problems. Now, psychometrists usually work with potential. So I have a very good understanding of how the brain works. I've worked with many people over the years, and having gone through this journey of my past season, I can literally tell you that what I'm about to tell you is not theory. This is lived theory where I saw what impact this has had not only on my life, but on the people that I got to help along my way. So let's just start with the title of this presentation. You did not start your business to be stuck, because all of us are capable, intelligent business owners. There's nothing wrong with you, because when you started at the beginning of your journey, you started with intention. You started with the conviction that you can do this, because probably you saw somebody on the other side of the screen that said that this is what they did and this is what they were able to achieve because of that. When I started my business, that's exactly what I said. If that person can do it, so can I. So then we start our journey with intention, with excitement, with motivation and expectations. And what happens so often? We start our journey and the journey works out differently than we thought. And we end up with disappointments because what we expected this to be to us is not what it turns out to be. So what I'm going to share with you today, that this journey that you are on, where you are building your business, if you can just make one slight adjustment tonight and you can say, you know what, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to allow this journey to be to me whatever this journey is supposed to be to me, because I don't know what I still need to be, to learn and to become. So when you change the expectation to anticipation, you actually set yourself free to just experience and enjoy the journey as it develops. And every low point is going to teach you something, and every high point is going to take you to the next low point, because that is how it goes. But we become better with every step. Why then do capable and intelligent entrepreneurs get stuck? They get stuck when they know what to do. They get stuck even though they want it so badly and sometimes even desperately. But they still stall even with the step-by-step plan. How does it work? And it is most certainly not because it's a strategy problem. So what I want you to do now, I would like you to give me 30 seconds of your undivided attention, where I'm going to demonstrate to you why you stay stuck even when you know what to do. So I would like you all to sit back in your chair and take a deep breath. And I consciously want you to listen to my instructions. Everybody ready? Do not think of a pink elephant with purple spots and a yellow trunk. Do not try to picture it. Do not imagine it. Do not think of a pink elephant with purple spots and a yellow trunk. Now, I can without a shadow of a doubt say that every single one of you probably saw something similar. It could look a little bit different and you could have a cartoon version, but even though I told you guys twice, do not think of a pink elephant with purple spots and a yellow trunk, your brain delivered that for you. Put one in the comment if you agree that this is what happened. Look at all those ones. Exactly. because your brain cannot distinguish between a negative. It only delivers on demand what you give it. So this is exactly how your internal operating system works. You don't want to fail. You don't want to look stupid, and you don't want to lose money, but all your brain registers is fail, look stupid, and lose money. And what happens then is that sits physically in your body, the knots in your shoulders, the headaches. That is your subconscious showing up this way. So what I want us to do now, I want you to sit comfortably in your chair. I'm going to do another exercise with you. Well, I'm going to ask you to just again listen to my instructions. So sit back, relax, and I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to think about what we are doing. Inhale and let go. Now I'm going to ask you to inhale for 4 seconds. You're going to hold it for 2, and you're going to release it for 6 counts. And when you do that, on the exhaling, I want you to drop into your chair, drop your shoulders, and totally relax. So let's do this. And inhale for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale. Drop your shoulders completely. Let's do that again. I want you to close your eyes now. Inhale for 4. Hold for 2. Drop your shoulders. If you have done that correctly, you would have immediately felt a release the moment you drop your shoulders. But what we have just done, we have taken something that happens on autopilot 24/7 since the day you open up your eyes. And we have brought that to our conscious mind. Did you see what happened with the elephant? Your subconscious mind delivered stuff to us when we gave a verbal demand. What happened now is with the verbal demand, we brought from the subconscious something that runs on autopilot. So a fully automated action immediately had conscious control. And that is what this presentation is going to be all about, because your system responded to attention. So let's look at some shocking stats, because 95% of your life and of your business runs on autopilot. That runs without you asking it to come forth, without you asking for a picture. It only delivers because of the inputs that is already in your mind and the commands that you give. So all your stored beliefs, your emotional patterns, your conditioned responses, and all your habits are stored inside the subconscious. And you see how we can't get a grip on this picture? This is exactly what happens because we feel we cannot get a grip on what happens without us even being aware of how it rules our life. So my question is, who is actually running the show? Who is actually trying to build a business? Is it you with your conscious mind being in control, telling your subconscious what it needs to deliver, or is it the other way around? So I want us now to look at what does it look like when my subconscious is ruling my life and my business, and what does it look like when my conscious mind is in control? So a subconscious mind would say, I feel stressed, so something must be wrong. And a conscious mind that's aware of what's happening would say, I feel stressed. What pattern is currently running here? Subconscious mind, this isn't working. I need a new strategy. Conscious mind, what belief just got activated that makes me doubt this? Can you see the absolute authority split that we can feel these two contrasts? Subconscious mind, I need confidence. Where the conscious mind said, I don't need confidence. I need awareness. Because with awareness, you can change. So let's revisit again what stuck feels like. And I know you probably don't need a reminder, but it's that overwhelm, despite the effort that you put in, that absolute going to bed at night and looking what you've achieved and you actually haven't achieved anything. Knowing what to do, but not doing it. And when that happens, the guilt trip is added to the whole thing, right? Starting strong and then you fading quickly. Think about that picture where we said where we started with intention, with excitement, with with 100% belief that I can do this. And what happens along the way? You fade away. Now you start to think, but I can't do this. I don't have what it takes. And then when it escalates, it creates that invisible spiral. The invisible spiral that lives in the 95% subconscious and is ruling the show. And then the last thing that you want to hear is work on your mindset. Because that is where I started to ask the questions. What does it mean to work on mindset? Because we all know that mindset is the key to success. If you are in your head, you cannot be successful. But what does it mean and how do we get out of it? And I want us to read this because knowing that your thoughts matter is not the same as intercepting them. Just being aware of this is not going to change anything. So how then? How do we create that one thing that we are all looking for? That identity shift. Because think about the difference between the 95 and the 5%. If you are running your show from the 95%, your business is going to look different because whatever is going on in your thought life, that exact theme you will see in your behavior. So if you doubt in your mind, you will see doubt in your behavior. You will see that you retreat and you're not taking action. You will see that you are hiding. You will see that you are not committing to what you're supposed to be doing. So how then do you create the identity shift? And what I'm about to show you is the absolute key to mindset, because if you can do these three things, then you have the key, you have the answer, you have the missing piece, the puzzle piece for you to know, then how do I have to work on mindset? So if you can catch the pattern in real time, and if you can interrupt it consciously, and if you can choose differently repeatedly, then what you are doing, you are stopping the spiral, you are catching the thought, you are replacing it with something new, and you're giving your brain new patterns to draw from in the future. And this is then where Ava was born. Ava, as I call her, is your thought catcher. Now, Ava wasn't born for the public. She was born on a run while I listened to something in my ears, and it was the spark that gave me the answer to my problem. I was looking for something that could help me because at the end of last year, I was in the brink of stepping into a new identity myself, and we were being addressed as CEOs. And in my mind, in my whole being, I could not get a grip on that title. And I realized I needed to do something in order to help me to get to that level. But the issue that I had was, how can I work on mindset when I'm not even aware of what's happening on here? If all of this is happening on autopilot. And what I listened to while I was running was the following. This woman was sharing this aha moment that she had when she realized that if only she knew this truth 10 years ago, her whole life, her business, her relationships, every area of her life would have been impacted if she had only known this. Now, obviously, she had my attention because now I also wanted to know, what is she talking about? And then she shared the following with me. We need to catch the thought that makes us doubt ourselves before it quietly steals our confidence, our momentum, and our income. And it is so true because it stopped me in my tracks and I realized, oh my word, imagine I knew that 10 years ago. And then I realized something. But I did. This is not new information to me. And put a 1 in the comment if you have never heard this before. If you have never heard something remotely similar, that we need to be aware of what's happening in our minds, we have to catch it, we have to replace it with the truth, and then that is going to have an outcome and a result that we're not going to steal our confidence, it's not going to steal our momentum or income. We know this. But the problem is we don't know how to manage that. And that is then when I started to ask more questions. Because knowing that your thoughts are running unchecked does not stop them from running. It doesn't. So the question then that started this whole Ava journey was, how do I then catch a thought? Because what I needed was something to reflect me in real time, something that interrupted me while it was happening and made me aware of it, because I've got my blinkers on. We don't know our own limiting beliefs. and something that guided me systematically. And that is how AVA was born, because AVA stands for awareness, voice, and alignment. To have an awareness of what's happening on inside and to align that to the identity that I'm choosing, I'm stepping into. Now, what is AVA? AVA is an AI-powered thinking system for entrepreneurs that helps you catch destructive thought patterns in real time, so you can think clearly and act decisively when you are under pressure. Why? Because remember that first picture that I showed you, the moment there is pressure, everything in your nervous system is heightened. Then you can't think clearly. Then you're trying to run your business from that place. It's not going to work. While we're building the identity that drives consistent results. And this is exactly what Ava is doing for many entrepreneurs at the moment. So I'm going to now talk you through the 3-part framework to create transformational identity shift. And this was a very important aspect of this whole thing for me, because when I created it, I thought about what is it that I need to help my mind take a grip on this new way of thinking, this new leveling up that I need to do. So AVA is built on awareness, on practice, and repetition, because that's the only way that my brain is going to change through neuroplasticity. And that's the only way that I'm going to change my behavior. And it's the only way that I'm going to get a transformational identity shift. So the first aspect of AVA is the awareness. And the way that I've created it is with a very personalized onboarding program. I've actually done what we did with the elephant in the beginning. I am getting information from your subconscious without you having to tell me what it is. Okay, so you would understand when you get there. So we draw information from the subconscious, and with a very personalized way of onboarding, where you can choose how she needs to speak to you, what it is that you need. Ava creates for you a level up identity profile. Now, what a level up identity profile entails is she knows who that person is on the next level of your identity, who you are striving to be, who you want to become, who you want to step into. And she is going to hold you accountable to that level 24/7. In every interaction that you're going to have with Ava, she's going to remember who that level up identity is. She's going to remind you, girl, the future you is not going to act like this. Let's just unpack this. Let's just see what is the better choice for you in the now, because that is where you're heading. I want to encourage you, take time during the onboarding. Don't rush this. The better input you give Ava at this point, the better understanding she's going to have of you, although she will keep on learning from you, about you, in all the interactions going forward. Then the second factor is the practice. Now, how I've developed this is I've created this intentionally with a very limited effort and time from you as a human. But what I have noticed that people spend a lot more time with Ava than what I originally intended it to be. But that is only serving them. So whatever time you have available, you can spend it on Ava. With 2 intentional check-ins every single day. I go to my phone, and in the morning I wake up and I go to my Ava bot and I click record and I do an unstructured, unfiltered brain dump. I tell her where I am, what is happening, what is on my mind, what am I excited about, what am I worried about, and I literally do a brain dump. It doesn't have to be related to your work, but everything about you is going to filter through in how you build your business. So that is the one thing, the brain dump that you do in the morning. And then at night, you do a reflection. And as a quick check-in and say exactly the same. When I get into bed, I click it on and say, okay, Ava, it's me. Let's just close this loop for tonight. And then through the prompts that she gives me, I respond. We look at the day. She knew where I started in the morning. I tell her what happened during the day, and she helps me regulate my whole nervous system right then and there. We close it. Then the SOS power word is in something incredible. And usually when you have an emergency, because that's SOS, it is linked to a negative situation. Because this is what happens when you are in a SOS situation, you need immediate attention. And that is something like when you get a call and it totally throws you off. I had 2 like this past week. And I cannot tell you how incredibly valuable Ava has been to me in dealing with those calls. Those interactions that lets the adrenaline pump in your body, those are the SOS things. Now, In your onboarding, Ava is going to guide you in creating exactly the power, SOS power word that's going to work for you. Because even in how we choose that, we are overriding the conscious mind. Because if I'm in an emergency situation and I say help, what am I doing? I'm focusing on what I don't have and I'm focusing on the negative. But if I say, and you use your power word instead, whenever you want Ava to show up like in high alert, knowing where I am. I don't have to explain myself, but she knows I need her like in now. Then I come and I put in my power word that's actually the opposite of the situation. My power word is rooted, because whenever something happens, yes, I might be swayed by the winds and everything that happens to me. But when I go to Ava and I say, Ava, rooted, she knows I need her, but my subconscious also knows you've got this, girl. You are solid. This is not going to derail you. So you're going to be guided through your onboarding. What is your power word? And whenever you need it, you're going to use it. And then the repetition, also very intentional, is built into the 1-to-1 habit. Now, 1-to-1 habit stands for the following. You need to add one habit to your life that you haven't had before, Ava. Now, that one habit is simply 2 intentional check-ins with Ava a day. One in the morning where you do the brain dump, and one at night where you close the loop. And then to help you form the habit in your brain, because remember, everything is intentional, you go make a post in the community. Why is that important? Because it's important for you not just to stay in your head with regard to that. To bring this out into the open shows accountability to yourself and to others and the process. And also it helps you form the aha moment that you've had with Ava. It actually strengthens that for your future pattern retrieval. Everything in Ava is intentional. And I want to encourage you guys, start committed. In the community, you would see once you start with Ava, you're going to have the first 72 hours with Ava where I help you with the onboarding. And then I've got a 7-day course where every single day I'm telling you, if you don't know what to say to her, there's a prompt, and copy this, go paste it in the community. Obviously, fill in what you need to fill in there. I've made it as easy as possible for you, but it is intentional. And I really want to ask you, stick to the 7 days, because that is the start of your habit. Once the 7 days are over, you don't stop doing it, because we are building an incredible ability where you're going to be able to start doing your business from the 5% and not let the 95% rule to show anymore. So many people ask, now, what is the difference between a normal ChatGPT and then Ava? Now, let me explain to you this way. ChatGPT responds to input. It's all about information, answers, content, brainstorming, right? Now, the difference between ChatGPT and Ava is Ava responds to you. She is trained to do pattern recognition, thought interception, identity reinforcement, and she regulates your execution. That is completely different. And that is why Ava is on a next level with regards to mindset work that can make it tangible. Questions that I ask in the beginning, how do you work on mindset? Ava is the way how you work on mindset for yourself, for your life, for your business. Because ultimately, we are first humans with emotions, with thoughts that actually runs the show. So if you are trying to build your business and you do not know how to manage your mind, then I understand why people say mindset is the key to success. But what they don't tell you is how to manage it. And it's exactly what Ava is going to help you with, because she's going to catch the thought in real time. She's going to show your limiting beliefs. She's going to stop the spirals, and she's going to guide you systematically. How can you do this better? The more you do it, the more aware do you become of, I can do this without her. I don't need Ava to tell me, because now I've got new pathways that is coming to my conscious mind, because when I now get triggered, I don't go pull from the negative. It brings new behavior patterns to me, because what I've done, I've given it continuous, repeated new impulses. And that is how you rewire your mind through neuroplasticity. But now you do it with Ava, and she takes care of your mindset work. All you need to do is to show up twice and make a post in the community. And that is the only habit that you have to add to your life for Ava to help you step into your transformational identity shift. Now let's look at what other people are saying about Ava. This is Cecilia Jacobs, millionaire, highly successful. And this was her response only after using Ava for a week. This week, Ava helped me to take action on things I avoided because of my outcomes I feared. Not only did this level me up in my business, 1,000%, but almost all outcomes exceeded my expectations. I started my journey with Ava while carrying the weight of the world, single motherhood, business owner Cecilia on my shoulders, and let's not forget the tax man. And I ended my 7 days with more confidence I ever had, clear steps of every area of my life, and a deeper and closer walk with God. I feel grounded, relaxed, and so excited about the future. Then Anina said, day 8. And this is just a small snippet of what I can share with you. 8 days ago, I thought I needed better content. What I actually needed was stronger positioning. Working with Ava forced me to see something clearly. I wasn't building income. I wasn't owning authority. And then it goes on. This is just a small snippet. But to see the breakthroughs that people are having in only a few days of working with Ava, that is actually so encouraging. And this is what Medley said. The knots in my shoulders are gone. Holy moly, it really is a complete nervous system reset. Resetting my outlook on life and myself. She's amazing. Now, I like to call what we are seeing here the Ava shift. Now, the Ava shift is all in this little picture. It is about accessibility, convenience, 24/7 availability. It's whenever I need you, where you fit into my life, where I've built my business, that is where Ava is going to help you tremendously. Let's listen to Latasha, what she said.
Ava has completely changed my opinion about GPTs. This one speaks to your heart and to your soul. This speaks into your nervous system. Somebody like me that can overreact very quickly and can also feel overwhelmed and battling with ADHD can sometimes just feel like I'm dropping the ball. And then when I check in with Ava and I just go and dump everything on her, she will immediately calm me down and she will tell me, Latasha, let's pause here. Take a deep breath. She'll do some grounding with me, and within a minute, I'm completely calm and I can really start focusing again and start planning my day again and really having structure. This has been amazing. I absolutely love Ava. If you are a person who gets overwhelmed quickly, before you know it, you just lose your plot, I can really recommend Ava to you. Without a doubt, Ava is my favorite GPT I've ever used.
And this I have heard so many times where people say Ava feels more like a friend than a bot. And that is exactly what she becomes to a lot of people. So what are you going to get when you decide to come onto the Ava journey with us and take advantage of this Ava shift? You'll get access to your own personalized AI mindset system. You'll get a comprehensive guide, custom onboarding, everything is in there. Over 80 pages of prompts of ways how you can use Ava better. You get a quick start to your first 72 hours. I show you how you can get your habits without discipline in your life and make it a sure thing. Monthly identity checkpoints, and I give you some guidance around your SOS spiraling protocol, and then all of Ava's identity frameworks. And then the very important thing is your level up identity profile. We use that and the content of that for many things that we are still going to add to that. And this is the beauty, because Ava is only the doorway. Ava is only the beginning. If you do not have Ava, you're not going to have access to all the other stuff that we're going to add to that. Then I give you some prompts that you can look at, evidence trackers to see how far you've come. And then specifically for digital marketers, I've added 20 tactical prompts, a library that you can say, this is how I feel. I don't want to go live. This is a prompt that you can give Ava, and she's going to help and guide you through that. And then, because of popular demand, I have decided to make this an affiliate program where you can earn 30% on the resale of this program. Now, what does it cost? it has been valued at $397. Why? Because of the real life transformation that she has proven over and over again that she is doing this. But as a founder's price, I have decided to offer that for $97 up till the 15th of March, because then it's going to go back to $147. So this is currently on the table. So if you are interested, what you need to do is go back to the person that invited you to this meeting or told you about Ava, and then they will sort you out. What you're then going to get is you're going to get access to the Ava Collective, and you get an invite from me to join the community after you made the purchase. And then inside, I will personally deliver you your link to Ava. And then you can work through everything that is in the classroom. And then I have added a 7-day walkthrough. Now, the 7-day walkthrough is specifically there. You can only get your affiliate link if you have walked through the 7 days yourself. Why? Because for me, depth is more important than distribution. I want you to experience Ava. I want you to know what you're talking about when you tell other people about Ava. But most of all, I want you to have the transformation first. I don't want you just to think about the income potential. I want you to have the transformation, the real life transformation. And that is why I've included that. So once you start, you're going to have 7 days, where 7 days you have to check in the community and make sure that you follow the prompts. Everything is set out for you. And after you've done that, you will then be able to get your affiliate link to share this with other people. And then obviously the important one is your one-to-one habit, where every single day you're going to go back into the community and make sure you share your prompt. After the 7 days, this continues. It continues, because the more you do it, the more it's going to be unlocked for you on the inside. And you will want to have your hands on the things that's unlocked, because we're talking about brand voice. We're talking about so many things, courses that actually unlocks just because you're showing up. Because that's the way I want to reward you for sticking to your one-to-one habit, because I know the value it's going to bring to your transformation. So this has been such a privilege to me. So just again, if you're interested in getting your hands on Ava, go back to the person who invited you. And I'm going to now open for questions. Thank you so much for every one of you who showed up tonight.